would say that you're a fool. I would say that to solicit your art form, or business rather, but to solicit your art form through this industry is probably the worst decision. You'd be better off being something you totally despise, you know, going to the medical field or something like that. Being there is 2010 now, and this band, this project, 62 Degrees Latitude, started in 1999. I can say that I've met real movers and shakers in the industry, major producers, major recording artists across the board. I've played with them in studios. I've shared the stage with major acts, and there's nothing to show for it still 10 years later. We cover the spectrum from everything that is borderline just soft classical, instrumental, things that can be used for film score, peaceful, vibrant music, to violent and destructive and aggressive music. I think that we cover that spectrum very well, more so than a lot of the bands that I grew up listening to.
It's all very much integrated with a with a sensibility that there's no way to describe it. I mean, honestly, that's the reason why I'm in this band, is because this is the only place that I can get something as raw and honest as the music that we write and we play.
I think it's a lot of raw aggression that, you know, it's very in your face, but with a very loving side to it, because a lot of that stuff, like a lot of the songs and even just the melody of the song and the beats and stuff, it's that half and half.
I would say that we tend to be very political. We tend to be very responsive and responsible for our political situation, the current events that are going on around us in regards to this country and in regards to many others. And I would say that our music compared to the commercial industry of music, if for those that don't know what that means, when I say commercial, I literally mean what's going on the radio. Because it is that black and white. It is that different as far as what people are seeing in underground clubs, as it always has been, and what people are able to hear on the radio. I would say it's hard to be compared to the commercial industry when the topic of discussion are things that people do not want to hear.
Everything's been played before when you're listening to it on a radio. That's why I haven't listened to the radio in 15 years. I don't care to hear the same thing, somebody talking about, you know, the rap or whatever. I have no problem towards rap, but it just all sounds the same. And I don't like the fact that, like, everybody has to sell out somebody else and say something bad about someone else, because being in a group or in a band or something to do with the music industry, you should all be one and not be fighting against each other.
Close your eyes, turn your back. Walk away in the pride never lies. When you feel the attack, you never say out and say it in your eyes.
The reason why that I would like to record and get the music out there is for the same reason as probably a lot of other people, except for this is a little bit different of a scene. We do it to get a message across. other people might want money or the fame. I'm not 100% all for that. I live my life on a different basis. So it's like when I want to get my music out, we always just want to kind of take it to that next level instead of like, I don't want $1 million. I want people to understand my feelings and possibly what their feelings are.
People do not want to hear about what's going on in Duffer. People don't want to hear about what's going on in Flint, Michigan. People don't want to hear about the addict in Seattle who has passed away. You know, no one wants to hear about the crazy heroin trade in New York and Portland, Oregon. People want to hear about the disco. People want to hear about fucking wavy hair and spandex pants and going out and trying to relive 80s parties even though you're only 19. And you were born in 1990, whatever. I mean, like, people don't want to hear that stuff. People want to party and be as blind as they ever were. And odds of you hearing 62 Degrees Latitude music on a commercial station, or, far be it from me, I could easily pass it on and say that you would never hear Ministry on a commercial station. You would never hear Pigface, especially on a commercial station. Any of the truly original artistic bands, any of the bands that really have something to say, you're not going to hear them on a commercial station.
The idea of social relevance in music is something that I always found very interesting. The thing that originally attracted me to rock and roll was its no apologies, honesty, and it was also the idea that these were people that were coming from a place that mainstream society couldn't begin to embrace. My dreams and my aspirations as a musician have very little to do with technical facility and have far more to do with communicating an honest, valid emotion. And so I would say I did great.
I can name so many artists that have passed away that just like, great artists and great bands that no one would ever know of, no one will ever hear of, no one will ever know they ever existed, because they got swallowed up so quickly in this business. Who knows who Cop Shoot Cop is? The guy's dead. And it was a great band, and their music has been covered by many other greater bands that are major label recording artists, but not that anybody that's listening to them would know any better. No one would know that they ever existed. It's brutal.